Pep Talk UK Pro Beez. Remember, subscribe, hit the bell for all the notifications for Pep Talk content. And I'm delighted to be joined once again by Tom, Not So Little.
How's it going, brother?
I'm doing well. I mean, boxing is back. People are excited. I think I'm kind of G'd up. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I think I'm happy that things are starting to take a turn. Don't be wrong, it's nice to see a bit of light with so much darkness going about with like everything that's going on in the world today. Like with one thing, the pandemic, then like everything with the like Black Lives Matter thing going on. Like it's like the world has gone. It's gone from 0 to 100 real quick, hasn't it? Everything has. So yeah, I'm just happy to have a good bit of news rather than all like doom and gloom. Do you know what I mean?
I guess there's always a silver lining in any situation.
Yeah.
Top Rank had a show last week. They kind of officially brought boxing back. Did you get a chance to see the fights at all or the show at all?
I watched a bit of highlights. Do you know what it is? I'll be honest. I very rarely watch boxing anyway, unless it's somebody that I'm actually interested in, or like I've got some sort of affiliation with them. Guido looked well on that card. Like done a real good job. He done real well. So yeah, like other than that, I didn't really take a lot of note of it. It was I think that was the only heavyweight fight on the card. I think as far as I know. So it would have been the only thing that really interested me, really.
Yeah. What about the boxers fighting in front of a no crowd?
Do you know what it is? That there would suit me down to a ground.
Yeah. Gym wars.
That'd suit me down to the T. Like I mean, like I thrive off my own atmosphere. I don't need anybody to get me up and going. Do you know what I mean? All I say is I spar very, very well, right? And so consistent, so consistent. I've never ever been turned over in sparring, never. So like, and I've sparred with the best in the world. Like you can't even dispute my resume as like far as sparring goes. So yeah, I'd like a bit of that, to be fair.
Yeah.
I reckon if this carries on for any length of time, I could become undisputed world champion.
Hey, how's WBC sparring champion? How'd that sound? Good?
Yeah, Izzo, you get so many people fight at, you know, good gym. I don't think I'm a gym fighter. I always do turn up and I do bring a good game, a good aspect of my game, but like it's obviously in sparring. There's no pressure on it. You ain't gonna win. You ain't gonna lose. It's just like you're in there working and not. Like, obviously, I know it sounds silly. You got music playing and whatever, not in the gym, and it's like I just seem to like find my own bit of a groove in that. So. Yeah, it's a strange one, really. I definitely wouldn't say I'm like a gym fighter because like I've seen so many boys. I've seen people that in the gym you look at him and you go, world champion, and you put them under the lights and they are a bag of shit. Like no, like excuse the French, but you can't dress a turd up as a fiver. Do you know what I mean? And it's just literally. I've been so surprised where like I've looked at people and thought, yeah, he's gonna go out and do something because like I've watched them in build up and stuff, and then you go out and you think, oh, another one of those.
Okay.
Yeah, another one of those guys, and then you get the lads that like you put garbage in front of them, they fight. You think they're never gonna do nothing. But they obviously raise up and to what's in front of them. The better the person is in front of them, the better they do. Like it's such a strange sport, boxing.
You know, some people say, you know, even with Billy Joe, when he fights the creme de la creme, you know, as you saw against Lemieux, you know, he put on a masterclass. You know, Fury fought Otto Wallen. That wasn't a great night. But then you saw against Wilder, you know, he kind of turned up. So I kind of agree with what you're saying to some extent.
Yeah, do you know what it is, though? And I'll say this again. Otto Wallen was better. Like, he just wasn't known in Britain. Like, you have a look at Otto Wallen's amateur pedigree. Otto Wallen can fight. Like, I watched Otto Wallen. He fought the night I boxed Billy Bergovich. And he guy with a straight left hand down the pipe. And I heard it from the dressing room. Like, he's stone cold, this guy, like, very badly. Like, I think he's a better fighter. But I know what you're saying, like, especially with Billy Joe. And it's this thing that champions have. It's that way to find a way to raise your game. That way to find a way to win. And that's the difference between a good fighter, an average fighter, and an all-time great fighter. That ability to find a way. I'll tell you a kid coming through who's got it, and I've seen it a million times. Put him in with world sparring with world champions and whatever not, and he'll always find a way to do something in that spar, right? And his name's Louis Edmondson.
Oh, okay, yeah. Right. Sam Jones' fighter. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I call him Spider-Man because he's like an octopus, like a spider in front of you, like long rangey, and can box, can fight, but he's just got this thing. He can find a way. He can find a way. I watched him sparring John Ryder, and he was doing very, 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 very well. And it opened my eyes up the night that he fought Callum Smith.
Yeah.
What I'd seen in sparring, I'm not saying that Louis beat John Ryder up. I'm not saying that. But a kid just had a couple of fights, how well he was doing in the spar and how he was handling himself. I had it in my head that that John Ryder was in for a very hard night. And then it just brought to fruition actually how good Louis was. Do you know what I mean? But by seeing how well that John Ryder done. Because it weren't like John Ryder was boxing bad against Louis. It was a very good spar. Do you know what I mean? But it just made me realise what sort of level you can do. And you just get these people that can always find... What I'm trying to get at is you get these people that can always just find that way to swing things in a better favour for them.
On a topic of sparring, you know, I know you're a man with a lot of experience, and you've been in with the best, as you said. And, you know, last week we had the announcement of Fury and Joshua, 2 fights agreed for 2021. You've been in sparring with both men. What can you tell me?
Do you know what it is? Right, and look, I'm a real talker, and I've got all the time in the world for Josh, and I've got all the time in the world for Tyson. But I look at them, and look, they're both really nice lads. I'm stronger affiliated with Tyson, as I wouldn't make out that I'm not. I am. But if the shoe was on the other foot, my answer would still be the same. I pride myself on being honest and straight talking. Joshua would beat 99.9% of the heavyweights around because he has got that thing to find a way. Like, I'm right in the first fight with Ruiz off, right? I'm going on you're as good as your last performance, and he adapted. He knew what he had to do, but the 0.1% is Tyson Fury, and I feel privileged as a Brit to be able to say this about 2 British fighters. A clash of magnitude with two of our fighters, but there's no beating Tyson. And that's you'll have to nail him down. Like, you'd think, but if Joshua catches him, Joshua catches him. Do you know what I mean? I just can't see. I genuinely can't see a way of Joshua beating him. I genuinely can't. He's a yeah. I'm a strong side there with Tyson in that fight. I believe that he's just got not more strings to his bow. He's got too many strings to his bow. Like, things ain't working out orthodox, you fight southpaw. Things ain't working on the back foot, you go forward.
You remember he fought Chisora in the second fight, the southpaw. Do you remember that?
Do you know what it is as well? And I tell you something now, and Don will probably wring my neck for saying this, right? Don wanted to bring in southpaw sparring for that, right? Don wanted to bring in southpaw sparring because of what he done with Rogan, yeah. And there was a bit of whatever. Anyway, decided against it. Tyson come out from first bell box to southpaw. So that just brings home the knowledge of Don, really. Do you know what I mean? Like something that people got, like instinct, doesn't it? Like just like get that feeling in it. Yeah, I'm a strong believer of law of attraction, and like, I do believe, like, if you see something so clear, you should go with your gut instinct, because there's a reason you get that instinct.
Some would probably say that if this fight does go ahead next year, that Fury might even spring this on us. You know, he might even turn southpaw for the fight. I mean, how mad would that be?
Yeah, that'd be mad. But to be fair, if I was going to talk to you if I was going to be a coach, I'd say to Tyson, that's the worst thing you can really do, is fight somebody who has a tremendous backhand, turn southpaw for a whole fight. You're giving him a lot of rounds to negotiate the shot that a southpaw's open for, a straight right hand. So I'd go. I wouldn't sway that way, really, personally. Someone like Derek and that, like, you're a tall man, you can get over that back foot. You can take that right hand away to a certain extent. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, that would be. I wouldn't be surprised if he boxed him standing on his hands. If I'm honest with you, like, that's just the mentality of Tyson, isn't it? He is the epitome of a diva, isn't he?
I saw something quoted from Anthony Joshua a little while ago that the two had a spar many years ago, and it was absolute war. I mean, what do you know about this spar that they had years ago?
From what I heard, from what I heard about it, is Tyson walked in there and I underestimated him a fair bit. For our young boy, gonna play about with him, and obviously Josh, very good fighter. He was a very good fighter when he started. It's called natural ability. So you're always going to be good to some sort of standards, whether you're just starting or just finishing. And he had a hard night. He had a hard spar with him, and he had to get down the trenches with him and dog it out with him. That's as far as I can. I've been told, but Tyson's one of them people. He won't really dog talk people about sparring or anything like that. There, do you know what I mean? Like, very respectful like that. I know. In some ways he might not come across like that, but like, every time I've been around him, I've never heard him say a bad word about anybody, like, in viciousness. Do you know what I mean? So I just think the fight would be built to high heaven. There'd be a lot of back and forth. There'd be a lot of what I've done and what I ain't done. But I'd take it with a pinch of salt until the first bit of leather lands.
Yeah, you know, I feel like it's kind of like a bit of a role reversed now. You know what I mean? I think, you know, Tyson had his flack for many years at a certain point in his career. Now AJ is getting his flack, so it's like Fury now is like the good guy. You know, that's getting admiration of everybody. and then Anthony Joshua now is the other guy now. You know what I mean? That's what it will seem like. But
Yeah.
I think with those ingredients, a mean Joshua, like I feel like the savage Joshua's coming out, you know, for this fight. And this could be a hell of a fight now, because I feel like that second win now and that bit of extra aggression is going to be of AJ this time. You know what I mean? I can kind of see that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I can see that for Joshua. I can see there'll be a lot of spite there. And the thing is, with all this that's going on, you can't blame anybody for being passionate about their own people that's been persecuted for a long time, but way too long. Do you know what I mean? And he's on, like, from what he's getting flack for is someone else's speech, though. Yeah, and Joe, what it is? I'll say it as it is. You should be able to speak up for your own. I'd speak up for my own. But never mind that. I'd speak up for anybody that's downtrodden. Anyone. And if people don't like that, then there's a bus they can jump on to get out of my personal space, because it ain't going to end well for them. And that's that. Like, you. This is the thing with this country. This is what's right. Everybody's always got a problem with what someone got to say, and always got an opinion on something they know nothing about. One second, mate.
No worries, mate.
I've got a terrible 2-year-old. Aren't you, Winter? You terrible too. Yeah. So she's terrible.
She said yeah as well.
Yeah. Right, let me just put SpongeBob on for you. All right, and go through there then. Yeah, no, everyone's always got something to say about what they know nothing about. Like, look, I don't disagree with people protesting, right? I think you should protest for what's right and what's wrong. What I don't get, right, I'll give you a for instance. They had a march here in Welling Garden City, yeah? All well and good. I think you could count, I drove by it, I think you could count a handful of black guys, right? The only ones making the noise were white people. Like, that had to get their nose in and make the biggest amount of noise and talk about stuff that's never affected them, never going to affect them. It's like me, right, let me put it this way. I can't talk to you about try and tell you about your hardships and try and sympathise with your hardships, because I've never experienced them. Same as you can't talk to me about mine and understand them. I can sympathise with your hardships, and I can try and help you in any way that I can. But I can't make your fight my fight, because it don't make no sense. I'm a massive contradiction for myself. But as a sportsman, I've learned from watching other people go down that road. Politics is one thing you shouldn't watch, because somebody's always going to have a problem with your opinion. And believe it or not, you rely on people coming to watch you fight to get paid. And I'm not rich enough to say, sod it, I don't care what people think. But it's a sad case of affairs when the moral of the story is it's a sad case of affairs. He's getting viewed as a villain for speaking up for his culture. Like, I don't mean no harm. I think it's a good thing for people to stick with their own people and support their own businesses and help their community thrive. You want to see each other grow, but I want to see anybody grow. A good person, a nice person, want to see everybody do well. But if somebody's businesses ain't thriving as well as I'm not the best speaker in the world, but like, say the white people, the white community's businesses, then obviously you want to jump on them and you want to help your people get out. Trust me, if there was gypsy food shops, I'd be shopping in them. But unless I want to eat tarmac and block paving, I'm gonna go quite hungry. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you should support your own community, and it's not something you should feel bad about. It's not something you should. And if people want to persecute you and put you down for doing that, then they weren't the fans that you wanted anyway. Do you know what I mean? They weren't real fans there anyway. They were just hype train people, because that's all that people are doing. And that's what I'm trying to get at about all these people at these marches. Half of them's there, don't understand a clue what it's really about, a clue what's going on. They're just jumping on a hype bus because it gets a bit of attention, and they want to say that they were there. They were part of it. Do you know what I mean? And I believe with something like that, you should either stand with a cause like that, or anything to do with like people's trials and tribulations. You should stand with it wholeheartedly for the right reason, or not at all.
So Tom, talk to me about the Lucas Brown situation. Obviously, there was a lot of talk that he was going to fight Joseph Parker, but last time I checked, you guys are meant to fight. I saw that you had an e-press conference with Matchroom online. Sorry, it was IFL, I think it was.
Yeah.
What happened?
Mate, I don't know what the deal was with Lucas. I said to him, I'm telling you, stop, please. Please, my princess, please. I had a press conference with him, and I think, like, it's a good fight if somebody grabs hold of it, but I don't think anybody's grabbed hold of it to put it on. So it's kind of a dead in the water fight. And I did say that to Coogan, like I don't think it's gonna happen. But saying that, I wouldn't believe I'm fighting him until now, with everything that's gone on between me and Lucas. I don't believe I'll be fighting him until I was looking at him across the other side of the ring. But I've done it anyway to be a good sport. And I thought, Joe, what, it might make someone grab hold of it and put the fight on. But I know one thing. Joseph Parker, I see him put up the other day, they wouldn't, if Deontay Wilder and Fury's on the AJ card, they want an Australian heavyweight on, and he was talking about putting Joseph Parker on. And this is what I mean. This is how stupid the man is, right? This is how uneducated about boxing he is. Why is Eddie Hearn, who's got Joseph Parker, going to put his heavyweight on a rival promoter's card to fight Lucas Brown? What sense would that make? What sense would that make for Eddie Hearn? Zilch. None. But Lucas lives in a world where have you seen Roger Rabbit, who framed Roger Rabbit, the old cartoon?
Old school.
And all of a sudden they hop over into cartoon world. That's where Lucas Brown lives, in some fictional land. He's a very strange, odd character, Lucas, and like, it ain't personal for me. I just want to beat him up because one, I don't believe he's the fighter he was, and two, I don't believe he was a great fighter when he was at his best. So, and I believe that, and I believe it was made evidently clear when Dave Allen sunk him like a battleship with a body shot. Do you know what I mean? And I didn't just start saying it after that. I was saying it before Dave Allen. You can just, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, flies like a duck, it's a duck. Right? And after all the scandal, he got banned and whatever not, he never come back the same fighter. You can't tell me he boxes at the same pace and looks as lively for the rounds as what he did when he fought Shakai. Didn't. And Shagger was old enough to be pissing dust when he fought him.
Wow. You mentioned Dave Allen. Finally, how do you think you mentioned, he said that he'd beat Mike Tyson, 53-year-old Mike Tyson. Try and picture it, that fight. 53-year-old Mike Tyson against Dave Allen. How would it go?
Let me tell you something. I'd put my old dad's had a stroke, right? And like he's not the most well-healthed man. I'd chuck my dad out against Dave Allen.